Is Southern Europe gearing up to become one of the premier regions for cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology? Well, in early December, something called the Mediterranean 7 Agreement was signed. This is between Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, and Malta. These 7 countries will be working together to promote blockchain across the Mediterranean and, of course, the adoption of different cryptocurrency technologies. Very exciting stuff. These 7 countries together represent a huge economic group and is a very exciting innovation to see happening. But let's investigate some of the stories that we've seen coming out of these countries recently to see whether or not there is some truth behind what they want to do, or if we're just getting started and need to see so much more happening. Let's start off with Malta. Malta has done amazing things for blockchain and cryptocurrency regulation over the last year, inviting companies from all around the world to come and set up shop in Malta. And a lot of companies have responded to that. Obviously, some of the big names like Binance have made a lot of headlines by moving their base to Malta, but a lot of others have been getting onto the party as well. So Malta has been making a lot of strides when it comes to cryptocurrencies. A lot of other countries could learn from their lead, and they see a great opportunity in cryptocurrencies in the same way they saw a great opportunity with like online gambling, for example. For a little country like this, it could make a big impact on their tax revenues and things like this in the long term. Now, maybe the other Mediterranean countries looked at what Malta was doing and said, ooh, can you guys tell us how you did that? That looks really great. We'd love for our economies to benefit from that as well. Now, we'll probably have a bigger impact on a tiny country like Malta in terms of overall percentage of GDP generated from cryptocurrency and blockchain related companies. But for the other countries getting involved, there are a lot of possible benefits. So let's talk about Italy. Well, recently, the Italian government has published a list of 30 experts that they're bringing together to develop the nation's blockchain strategy. The group will be specifically focused on identifying potential use cases for blockchain in the public and private services and developing the necessary technical and regulatory tools to promote the adoption of the technology. That's a great step by Italy to get people really committed to doing it, to put together a group of people and say, you 30 people, figure it out, get some regulations, get some use cases, present it to us. It represents a positive step forward. Obviously, I would love to see some regulations being passed and some real use cases happening, but this is the first step. This is how we get there. To see them taking it very serious as they are, nothing but positive. Moving on to Spain, the ruling party, Partido Popular, introducing draft legislation around things like tax cuts for cryptocurrency companies, also looking at how they can set up a national council on cryptocurrencies, and of course, foster education of blockchain technology inside the country. Now, Spain is no stranger to cryptocurrencies by any means. It's a very popular marketplace for cryptocurrencies, but also we've seen some interesting innovations happen recently in Spain, like for example, CycleBit rolling out their cryptocurrency payment processing to 130 different cafes across Spain. Spain's second largest bank, Banco Bilbao Vizcaya Argentaria, has closed a €150 million loan using blockchain technology with Porsche Holding, the largest car distributor in Europe. So that's a pretty exciting story. Also, Spanish renewable energy company Acciona Energía is going to deploy blockchain to trace electricity generation. So a lot of it's already happening inside of Spain, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. A lot of other stories we talked about in Spain too, but these are just some recent ones that have come up. So Spain has been doing quite a lot of work. Great to see them being part of the Mediterranean 7. Over in France, which is one of the leaders behind the initiative to set up the Mediterranean 7, we've seen a bit of back and forth on cryptocurrencies recently. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about the excitement of all the tobacco stores offering Bitcoin for sale, and that is exciting. That's a great story. I think that does deserve some attention because it does introduce Bitcoin, even just visually in front of people, to a large audience of people that go in and buy tobacco and other things at the tobacco shops. But what's really exciting has been happening in France, the 500 million euros that the government's committing towards putting towards blockchain technology. Now that is a serious amount of money. and hopefully we can find some really great use cases in France for blockchain technology, and the country can become a leader in this. We can add into that the recent innovations towards ICO legislation, for example, and we've seen a lot of positive move happen in France, but at the same time, the lower house of the French parliament has rejected recent amendments that would have seen the 2019 finance bill easing crypto-related taxation. So unfortunately, that didn't pass. That would have been a big step in terms of making France a more tax-friendly destination for cryptocurrency companies. But you can't get it all at the same time, I suppose. And that moves us on to Greece, Cyprus, and Portugal. Up to this point, we haven't really had any recent announcements out of any of those three countries, at least not widely distributed in the international media. Perhaps there's been some local stories, but I don't read Greek or Portuguese, so I can't read those stories. But nevertheless, these countries are part of the Mediterranean 7. I hope that we will see some announcements from them in the near future about how they're hoping to integrate blockchain technology, how they're hoping to pass crypto-friendly regulations, etc., etc. There is one story, unfortunately, out of Portugal, but it's not a good story, so it's not really in the like, yeah, Mediterranean 7, woo, kind of category. It is that the well-known Bitcoin ATM manufacturer, Lamasu, is leaving Portugal and going to Switzerland. Switzerland. Those guys. Now, the reasons that they cite for leaving Portugal, that essentially Switzerland is a more welcoming environment for crypto-related businesses in contrast to other locations, Portugal, where the company struggled to maintain a bank account, leaving it bankless for the past year. It says a lot. Portugal, sort it out. You're losing business right now to Switzerland. So the Mediterranean 7 is an amazing initiative, but then there's Switzerland. And Switzerland has been the darling of the cryptocurrency industry for a long time. Switzerland has done so much for Bitcoin. It's really actually amazing to see the ecosystem that's developed there, the regulatory framework that's developed there. There's a reason why a lot of foundations are based in Switzerland, for example. And of course, then we have Zug, which is named Crypto Valley. If that doesn't say that I love cryptocurrency, then I don't know what does. Now, Switzerland, we've also seen recently the launching of an exchange-traded crypto product on SIX Swiss, one of the biggest exchanges in Europe. The Swiss State Secretariat for International Finance, those guys, they've also put out a recent report encouraging even more pro-crypto regulations to be passed in Switzerland. Of course, they realize now the heat is on. They look over and go, ooh, Malta, those guys, and then look at what everyone else is doing. We might soon have Cyprus and Greece and Portugal and Spain and France and all these guys taking the business away from us. Something to keep in mind. So I'm sure that we're going to see even more positive regulations coming out of Switzerland here in the near future, trying to encourage companies to stay and, of course, more companies to come in the future. Overall, I think that the Mediterranean 7 agreement is very exciting. I hope that we do get some serious commitment from the governments in those regions towards the development of crypto-friendly regulations and of the utilization of blockchain technology. Time will tell, of course, just how serious these countries are. Anyway, I would love to know your opinion. Do you think that these countries have what it takes to become, as a combined group, one of the biggest players in the cryptocurrency scene? Or is it all about Malta and Switzerland and Japan and Australia and other places? Let me know about it down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, boom, leave a thumbs up. That would be supremely awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. If you want to know when I put out a new video, there is a notification bell down below which you can click on, and it'll let you know when I put out a new video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.